Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. Mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Wednesday, so it's my bad joke day. You know, this guy goes to his to his therapist, and he says, Doc, I'm really concerned about myself. He says, well, what's wrong? He says, I'm just constantly talking to myself, just like all day long. I'm just, I can't stop it. He says, that's not unusual. Many people talk to themselves. He says, yeah, but you don't know what a nudnik I am. So these two therapists, they come down and they meet as they're walking out of the building, and the older therapist looks fresh as can be, neat, like it didn't even, just like he's showing up for work rather than finishing work. Just had a jolly look on his face. Everything is great. And the younger therapist next to him looks completely disheveled. His tie is down, and his hair is all messed up, and he has this distraught look on his face. And he turns to the other guy and says, "How do you do it? How do you spend all day with these people, listening to their tales of woe and their inability to take responsibility and the wild concocted things that they say?" And the older therapist looks at him and says, "Who listens?" I hope you listen to your yoga teacher, as well as your inner voice. All right, so my journaling friends, who do you wish was here with you right now? And what would you say to them if they were? Parent, friend, sibling, actor, sports person, political leader, business person? Who would it be? Mom, dad, grandpa? Who do you wish you're here with you right now? And what would you say to them if they were? You could also flip around, what would you like them to say to you? That's another one. All right. So let me know, either by replying to me directly, elevate the conversation with someone else, or journal about it and see what you come to understand about yourself. Now, my teacher says that yoga is only incompletely communicable to others. The search for the knowledge that yoga provides has to be directly experienced by each individual in order for it to demonstrate its truth, its clarity, its precision. And part of that means that each of us has to face some aspect of ourselves that's unknown, and using our body as the instrument to sharpen our brain and use our intelligence to develop more intelligence. Now, of course, you got to put energy into this. In order to make it happen, you have to use what I would call the warrior, the part of you that gets things done, the part that learns how to be effective, use your firepower in a way to get things done. And of course, a lot of us have a negative view of what we think of the warrior is, because we only think of the warrior as a kind of mercenary. But the warrior archetype lives within us in spite of our conscious attitude and maybe even resistance to it. But if you understand that the warrior energy does go awry, you want to be psychological about it. It's an immature form of our own infantile rage, which is a natural reaction against what I call poisonous pedagogy. That people have tried to put things on us or cross boundaries, whatever, when we were too young, and it pisses us off. So although the warrior energy does often go off the rails, goes awry, the real barrier is to learn how to access your aggression in a positive way, and bring the clarity of knowing what you want into your daily life, because that kind of discernment and mindfulness is part of what a warrior is. Always alert. This could be your last battle. This could be, you don't have time to space out. You have to focus on what you're doing strategically and get it done. So all of this leads you to what the philosopher Krishnamurti would say, approaching yourself seriously. Really taking a look at yourself, not to blame anything, not to explain anything away, but to attend with complete abandonment. So there's no room for your own fear, no room for your own contradiction, no room for your own conflict. But find the attention that excludes nothing, because when you really love to understand and want to understand, the totality of yourself and even of life is revealed in an instant. Then our Buddhist meditation teachers always remind us that karma, right, the whole idea of cause and effect, that we are the inheritors of our own actions, comes from a state of mind, not the action done. The intention behind it is there before it actually comes out in the form of something you say or something you do. So if it really has to do with the quality of your thought, what are the states of mind that are wholesome and bring back delicious tasting fruits? And what are the states of mind that are unwholesome and bring back pain and suffering? Each one of us is supposed to investigate that. But if I had a one-liner to say, I would say give. Because giving is a factor of non-greed. Holding on, accumulating too much, hoarding stuff. Giving is a natural expression of the Dharma. And since at the end, you got to let go of everything. Giving is learning how to let go of stuff, not keeping it. And how fresh you feel, how wonderful you feel when you give to other people. And of course, they also say you can't just only give so much that you prevent other people from being generous with you. You have to also be a field in which you can allow other people to sow their seeds of generosity. But other than that, keep giving. It's a factor of non-greed, and letting go is really the best expression of the Dharma. All right, so now, when I talk about using hypnosis, in a certain way, yes, our conscious mind, while we're awake, we're in the waking state, absolutely important. But from another point of view, your conscious mind is the least dependable part of yourself. All the things that happen that are on base brain, like you can't ask anyone, no one's ego is going to say, I grow my own hair, I replicate my own genes, I know how to excrete the right digestive juice when I have a protein or a carbohydrate. Your ego doesn't do that. Your conscious mind doesn't do that. And look at how deep that part of you is, that it does all those things and you don't even have to be aware of it. Don't have to be present for that. So when you want to have any kind of problem solved, one thing that they suggest, right, is to make what they call a referential index shift. Right? You're facing a problem, right? Difficult situation. Do you know anyone who would respond to that situation in a way that's appropriate, elegant, effective, in a way that you would like to respond? Use them as a role model, fix them in your mind, and ask your unconscious, your subconscious mind, to come up with a solution that mimics not what you presently think you can't do, but this person who's a role model for you, you know they have that together, and see whether or not that filters down into how your daily life works out. All right, so for all of you, as we approach this holiday season, may you be well, because well-being is the natural order. Things go off, going back to well-being, that's what we want. And if you let it be, it will be in your life. So all of us fight the same battle. If you alter your habits, you'll alter your life. And any thought you have is like a mental note. It's almost like a law that you then have to live under. Be kind to yourself. Make the laws that are really supportive, that serve you well. And always remember, all things work together for the good of those who love spirit. Have a great day.